Hey everybody, Captain B in another episode of the Blue Tortuga. Day 16 today. We're up and about pretty early today, so we are doing some planning for later on this week. I think we're having to adjust our plans by probably one day to make the trip up to Marco Island after we've done our stop in Marathon, so we're doing some scheduling. Cuban dinner was really good last night. Spicy, but not heat. Not like super hot heat spicy. Just a lot of flavors. It was very good. So a nice Cuban theme night. So we're going to continue that, I think, a little bit with the Cuban theme today, with a famous resident of Cuba, but also of Key West, which is Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway, the great American novelist, born in 1899. He was born in Oak Park, Illinois, just next to Chicago, and a prolific writer, lots of books, very famous. He won the Pulitzer Prize in 1953, and in 1954 he won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So somewhat an important figure that we all learned about in school at some point. He actually worked for the Toronto Star, 1939-1940. He actually was in Toronto, living in Toronto, and writing for the Toronto Star as a young writer. So pretty neat. He lived in Cuba, of course, and had a house and a whole domain there for many, many years. And he's an avid sportsman, both hunting but a lot of fishing. And he actually fished with Fidel Castro. But he had a home here in Key West. From 1931 to 1939, he lived here in Key West. And today we're going to take advantage and go visit the Hemingway House. So that's pretty neat. So he's rumored that he spent a lot of time at Sloppy Joe's Bar, actually here in town. That Sloppy Joe's Bar that still exists with the conch shell, imagine that. And he had a 38-foot fishing boat called the Pilar. That might come back this afternoon. You might see something to do with the Pilar. So much ado, but what we did for this trip to make it sort of apropos to the whole Hemingway thing is we brought with us 6 Hemingway books. So we have For Whom the Bell Tolls, and we have A Farewell to Arms, To Have and Have Not, The Torrents of Spring. MJ has just finished reading The Sun Also Rises, and I am working on The Old Man in the Sea, and probably one of his most famous ones. It's not a very big, thick, long book, but a very interesting story of a Cuban man, a fisherman, and a battle with a huge fish, a huge marlin. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, so we're going to get out and about, we're going to have our breakfast, and we will go visit the Hemingway House today. It's not the end of the road, it's the start of the road.
Martha was also a journalist, and a great one in her own right. She reported on every conflict on the planet. And of all of these women, Mary was the only one wise enough to introduce him to Avery. So they stayed together. Follow me upstairs and to the left, please.
That is a picture of Hemingway with Sloppy Joe.
Out here, across the way through the trees, the other side of the courtyard, there's a building. Back in the 1800s here. That was the carriage house. Horse and buggies around this island here. Very far removed from mainland, 126 miles from the mainland. It was all coral roads, not even dirt roads. Little known facts. That's what they did. It's a tour, you can do it.
This is Hemingway's writing studio.
Pool? How much, Pauline? Just tell me how much. With a big smile on her face, she says, 20,000 of your dollars. He freaks out. Oh my God, what? You do the math. That's about $300,000 in today's money. It was everything he had saved up. He freaks out. He reaches in his pocket. He pulls out a penny. He says, why don't you just take my last red cent? Throws it on the ground and storms out.
Apparently, they don't sell rum on Mondays. Hemingway excursion this afternoon, and as you can see behind me, it's pretty breezy. We're 12 to 14 mile per hour winds, and we are gusting to over 20. So we're checking everything out. We're going to be checking windy.com to do some planning for later on this week. So MJ picked up a souvenir, and you saw in the video the famous picture of Hemingway's face, and that is actually a t-shirt MJ picked up, but it's Hemingway is the logo of the Sloppy Joe's restaurant. MJ got herself a t-shirt as a souvenir to bring back home. So today was Ernest Hemingway Day, and with the wind I was able to hang out in the boat a little bit this afternoon and actually finish reading The Old Man and the Sea, which I recommend everybody read. It's a short read, a little depressing, but nonetheless a good read. And we got you all kinds of footage of the Ernest Hemingway House with their 58 cats. And they actually have to be licensed as a zoo and have 4 keepers to take care of the cats, and all the cats have 6 toes. And that's sort of the big thing, is these cats are all descendants of the original cats owned by Ernest Hemingway, and they all have 6 toes, which is sort of a thing. So obviously they were well-to-do, they had a lot of fun, and unfortunately Ernest Hemingway's demise, he was in Idaho, I believe, when he took his own life with a shotgun, and he suffered from dementia and alcoholism and all kinds of various other unfortunate things. But you know, sometimes these things happen. So still, nonetheless, a good read, a good Hemingway Day, and I am not doing takeout tonight. So we're gonna do a chicken stir fry in the boat. I am done with takeout. The Cuban was wonderful, but it's time for a break. So day 16 is done. Until tomorrow, this is Captain B saying keep the bottom side wet and the top side dry.